All right, for those who know me know that I talk a lot, but I don't really like talking at people. So my phone. I'm a little bit nervous. I was going to go over first the warning signs, but I think we've covered that pretty good in these talks. Here, sorry, technology hates me.
Me too.
Maybe someday. Okay. I was going to go through some of the warning signs, but we've seen them. But people didn't mention the worst one. Okay, and maybe because a lot of people don't know about it. The worst one I've ever had was no allegation. The baby was, I call them all babies because my 21-year-old is my baby. This was a 14-year-old, I believe. They were taken from the dad. Mom showed up to take custody because they split custody. They told her no. Went to shelter care hearing, she didn't know what to do. They postponed it for another 2 weeks. At that shelter care hearing, I told her to tell her attorney to demand the kids back, stop asking. And within an hour, I believe CPS was given an hour to return the kid or they'd be found in contempt of court. Mom stood up, and a lot of people give me credit, which I don't deserve. The truth of the matter is the parents are the ones who need to do the standing. We can help you, but the rights belong to you and to your children. And to be in the executor of your children's rights is a right to you. So we've talked a lot about how bad CPS is, but we haven't really talked about what to do when they come to you. Okay, so first, I'm just going to go through one situation, but hopefully people can take this and apply it at other places also. Okay, you get a knock on the door. You look out and you see it's CPS. You see the little lanyard with their little ID on it. Don't answer the door. You don't need to answer the door.
Yes.
They will leave a business card there. Call them later. Don't answer the door. But if you're like me, my kids are yelling, Dad, someone's at the door, someone's at the door, the dog's going off, so I'm obviously there. So when you do answer, if you do answer the door, and you realize it's CPS, 9 times out of 10 they will identify themselves to you. When you answer the door, and you figure out it's CPS, say, oh, hold on just a minute. Go back in, make sure your kids are inside so that they're not outside, so that the caseworkers can coax them over. And get your phone, and obviously record. You would think you're pointing a gun at these people. They are nervous, and the more, if you know that they're coming, get more of your friends. I've had them where we had, I think, 3 or 4 people come filing out of the house, everybody recording. And the CPS worker was so nervous that the paperwork that she came there to get signed, she didn't even want to go over it. She just folded it up and stuck it in her pocket as quick as she could and left and never bothered that mom again that I know of. Okay, remember, anything you say to those caseworkers will be twisted and used against you in the court of law. Okay? A lot of parents think, oh, I don't have anything to hide. Why not let them in and see? Because everything you say and do will be twisted and used against you in the court of law. One thing that CPS is consistent about is making bad parents look like they're controlling, or good parents look like they're controlling. Bad parents, they don't want those kids because they're not very easily adoptable. Now, most of the time it'll just be a caseworker. But if you refuse to let them in, which by the way, they will try to convince you that they're CPS. They don't need a warrant. Yes, they do. They'll come back with cops, and the cops will tell you, oh, this is CPS. Just open your doors, let us go look at where they sleep, and we will, we'll just close this case. We know that you're a good parent. We don't need all this stuff. Just let her do her job. Those key words, do her job. Her job is to take your children. That's how she gets paid, is to take your children. And it could be a man too. Typically it is a woman, so I'm not trying to be sexist, but a little bit maybe. If the cops are with them, my suggestion is stop talking to the caseworker. Only talk to the cop. Now the cop will keep trying to turn you back to the caseworker. Well, it's her case. You need to talk to her. Don't. The cop at first will be telling you, well, we just want to close this case. We know you're not a bad parent. We just need you to prove it. Okay? Don't fall for it. Ask the cop. Remember those words that Diego said earlier. Very important. Imminent danger. Imminent danger means that if they do not take the child right now, and then the child will will suffer either severe permanent damage. It's a severe thing, but because a doctor, they miss an appointment, that's imminent danger. But a lot of times in this first conversation, because they're trying to console you, they say, oh no, I don't think your child's in imminent danger. We just need, so she can close her case. Say, okay, well, thank you. So do you have identification? Get their identification and say, now I'll go ahead and we can talk about when we can get with my attorney to talk about this. Remember, your children have the right to an attorney. And they violate that right, but it's better for you in court if you stand for your children's rights. Remember, you're not just standing for your right to be a parent. You're standing for your children's right to be a child with their parents. Okay, now sometimes they will say, well, we need to prove it to you. Now, you're not required to bring your children to the door, but I found this to be pretty unintrusive to go ahead, bring your children up to the door and show them, hey, see, they're not in imminent danger, so see you later. And talk to your attorney. Like Colton was saying, you don't want them to even get their grips on you. If they get their grips on you, it's really hard. Look at all the protesting we had to do for this family. And part of it, why we could operate so fast is because most of us already knew this family and could vouch for this family. With others, it's not as hard. That's why you need to get involved and know your neighbors. So part of the reason that Diego was able and Marissa was able to get the reaction she did is because he knows his neighbors, and his neighbors care about him. So when he heard he was in need, they jumped up and did it. They went and showed it. Now, when you do bring your kids up there, they may ask a few questions, like, how's it going, bud? Stuff like that. Simple questions, I say let them answer, but get them very quickly back away from the law enforcement at the door. And then, okay, now you're able to repair them at your door. I'm sorry. Now you need, what I call it, is loading your gun for self-defense. Whatever the allegation is, whether it's school, whether it's whatever it is, you need to start get documentation, immediately getting documentation, hospital records, school records, making your own records to make sure everything's there, because that will be your ammo in court. Documentation, documentation, documentation. Hopefully you never use it, or never need to use it. At the doctor's office, remember that they are not your masters, you are theirs. You pay them. If you don't like the doctor, go somewhere else. And don't let them fall behind that mandated reporter crap. I'm a mandated reporter. Everybody in this room right now who is above the age of 18 is a mandated reporter. So don't tell me that you're obligated to call CPS because they missed a doctor's appointment. Would you feel like that you have to call because somebody missed a doctor's appointment? It's BS. It's control. They want the doctors to be gods. In the medical profession, I was a CNA, it was 20 years ago, but you are taught to treat the doctors like gods in an operating room. That's true, but they are not gods. You are the parent of that child, and you should not relinquish the authority given to you by the Heavenly Father for that role. And I'm over time, but I'm always there to try to answer questions. Two things I will, if you reach out to an activist, I know I'm not everybody's cup of tea. Anybody who makes you do it their way, or they're not gonna help you, watch out for those, and anybody who charges you. Most of the people I know do not charge, they take donations. Some of them do, some of them won't even take donations, like me. But protect your children. You have the right to the executorship of your children's rights. One thing to finish up with. This shirt. When tyranny becomes law, rebellion becomes duty.
Yes.
So is tyranny law? Yes. Where's your rebellion?
Exactly.